But it's great to have you in this space. I'm sharing with George and myself. We can have a bit of a conversation about some really exciting updates. Probably fair to say that in the last couple of months or so, it's been a really accelerated season of growth and development in our church family as Cromer Church Birmingham. We're in our kind of new worship space, and it's great to be here. We've loved the last few weeks of just beginning to make this feel like home. And an exciting development that we're going to share with you today is an expansion to our staff team. So George, we're really excited that you're joining us on staff. And we're going to have a bit of a conversation around the journey that's brought you here, and just to help people just understand some of what your role is going to involve, and how they can kind of connect with you in different ways. So let's wind the clock back just a little bit and just talk about some of your kind of personal journey and kind of where we've converged to this point where you're doing what you're doing, and not just working for us, but also in other spaces, and just tell us a bit about the journey. It's exciting. Tell us more.
So I guess my relationship with God, it first started through music, through worship all those years ago, and that's always been a developing theme, a developing part of my expression in my worship is through music, and that's something that has grown since I started playing guitar and stuff like that. But I think it's fair to say I maybe at one point thought I've got this worship thing figured out, I know what I'm doing, but God in the past couple of years has just been like, no George, I've got another way, and a different picture for you with worship. And I think when lockdown happened, that there was a real big reset for me in my worship life, both corporately in church and in my quiet times at home. And he's really just revealed to me, what worship is, why we're doing it, and what he's actually, asking from me personally. But I also feel as a church and as a worship team where we're going to go, and how that's going to look, which is really exciting. I won't bore you with lots of the things that I have that I'd love to bring to this worship space, but it's definitely something to be excited about, and to get the team on board.
Hey George, you're not going to bore us, 'cause we're excited to see what God's doing. Probably be helpful to just get a feel for why this is happening now, what's changed for you in terms of your previous work, and just how God's kind of just put the focus on this. And also you're going to be working for us 2 days a week, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that's going to entail, different kind of roles, responsibilities, focus, but also working for another Christian project, which we're really excited about. It feels like they kind of dovetail together. So just tell us a bit about that journey.
Yeah, so I guess it started a few months ago. I was chatting with a guy from the Gap, and he was talking to me about he really feels like God is calling me into that space, which is that if you're not familiar with the Gap, it's like a youth workspace, youth and social work, going out, getting out there for the marginalised individuals of a certain age, if you say.
Based primarily in North Birmingham, Sutton Coldfield area, isn't it?
Yeah, and quite challenging. Come across some challenging circumstances, and I worked in horticulture for 6 years, and when he approached me, my initial response was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I really don't want to do this. And I was quite comfortable where I was working. I got to a place where I wasn't really being challenged. It was just easy. Money was okay, but that's when God was really just like, no, it's not a fulfilling environment for you anymore. And I've got other places for you to be, to produce more fruit, if you like. So it was definitely a journey in, I guess, that persuasion to go and quit my job, and saying yes to what God was asking me in that place. And I can't tell you how different it's felt, because I've had opportunities to leave my job in the past 6 or so years, well maybe more the past 3 years, and I haven't done it, but this time it just really feels like God's just like pulled me out of that place. That's how I know, like, you know, that's like his affirming, him affirming that I'm in the right place and doing the right thing. And there was just that obedience thing, like, you know, in saying yes, because with the gap, when it was offered to me, it was like 20 hours, and I was thinking, you know, that was again part of the struggle, like, am I going to be able to pay my bills, all these things, and it was just like, you know, obedience, and it's what happened on the other side of that yes, which was even, you know, even more exciting, and yeah. I guess that's
really
when
cool.
we started talking.
I mean, it's kind of come together quite quickly, but sometimes when God's on something and he picks up the pace on things, it just kind of pulls together. And we're really excited about a leadership journey for you, some growing space. And it's, you know, kind of you've been tending plants and shrubs and trees. You've got a kind of different type of cultivating role right now. Obviously with the gap, it's with young people, people perhaps discovering faith or just being introduced to the church in a way that just feels engaging and supportive and creative. And then in our space here, you're particularly looking at, if you go on our website, you'll see that George has got under his name Worship and Compassion. So just tell us a little bit about some of the specifics or some of the what you see in this immediate phase. And obviously there's going to be growth and development and change, as there's kind of change is here to stay, folks. It's kind of part of where we are right now. There's acceleration and change and development, but perhaps just help people just understand some of what that's going to look like for you and how they can engage with that. Yeah,
well, perhaps the more obvious one would be around worship, and that I guess I'll be overseeing like the worship team, and, you know, coming alongside the current leaders and really leading the worship movement of this church. And that will just involve me being like a point of connection to any people that, you know, want to be involved in worship, or just have a desire to talk about worship, or, you know, or just, you know, interested in how we do things, all these kind of things. So that's probably the more obvious one. With the compassion side of things, for the past year or so, I have been involved with the food bank initiative that we do. That Helen and Dee are currently running. So I'll be like coming alongside them with that initiative, but also for other initiatives that we may have of just really outreaching and, you know, getting out there in the community, because I really feel like it's our mandate as a church to, you know, be the light of Jesus in the city, and especially moving to Aston and further towards Birmingham. You know, there's loads of people that just, you know, some people can't even eat or drink, and let alone know Jesus in that time. I can't imagine what that is like. So, I'm really looking forward to, you know, coming up with some more creative ideas to how we can, you know, get out there and spread Jesus around, even just with our acts, with our prayers, with, you know, lots of different ways. But yeah, so that's the kind of thing with compassion. And more recently, I think, you know, it's September, and students are going to be coming to this city, and we're really expectant with this move to the new building that, you know, we're going to get loads of students come here. I really feel like there's going to be loads of them that are coming, and we need someone, I guess, we need something for them to do, like ways for them to connect and have fun together. So part of what I'll be doing over the next few months will be, being creative and seeing how we can get events going for students and connecting students already in this church and ones that we're going to welcome with open arms. I'm looking at creating a team for that.
Exciting.
Yeah, people that, you know, have a desire to serve young adults and students. I'd just love to actually just create that opportunity for anyone who has that desire and is up for a bit of fun, bit of board games, bit of, you know, Xbox or whatever.
So tell us about the first event you're planning for that.
Yeah.
So we can let people know who are watching.
So on the 10th of October at 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to have a student social here at church, after church, and that would be like board games and pizza and Xbox cards, and I'm sure much more fun activities that we can do. So yeah, please get along to that if you're a young adult, and yeah, we just really want to welcome students. That could very well be a date where students come here for the first time, so it would be great. I'd love to get like a good bunch of people here.
No, that'd be super. I think it's a lot of your role is about creating community and connection, both engaging with our community and just being a bit of a go-to person just to help communication, flow, connection. I think probably around the worship conversation is we believe that in this current move of God and what God is stirring in the place of prayer, that worship is very integral to that. And I think we want to build capacity, don't we, for increasing our worship space. We're currently doing Sunday mornings here. We want to grow into new spaces, both on the weekend, hopefully working towards maybe offering an evening worship space as well as throughout the week. And that's going to need people. It's going to need, like everything, time, energy, more capacity. So we're really excited because I think when we staff towards capacity, I think there's going to be an outflow of more people getting engaged. So I'm going to encourage you this weekend. We're going to be praying for George as part of our service, just kind of laying on hands and just really blessing him in your role, and just giving you encouragement, and just start looking out for communications, steady flow of emails and updates and all the rest of it. So super excited, George, that you're part of the team, and we're kind of part of the Black Hoodie gang. So if you want to be on team, Black Hoodie.